Hi guys, long time no see. This is kind of strange because my wife Taylor is actually right over there. So I had this idea that I think it'd be cool to do a video every week, and it could be called something like my wise winch words, or the words of a winch, or weekly winch, or a winch a week. If you have whichever one that you like best, maybe you can comment, because I'm gonna make a little playlist, and every week I want to try and just share bits of wisdom. I know I tried doing lots of videos before, and then things got crazy. I graduated college, started dating Taylor, who I then proposed to and I'm now married to. So things just kind of got crazy, and in a good way, a very successful and happy way. So things are kind of settling in. I got a job, a full-time job at a ad agency called Creatively, and life is just really sweet. So I guess I kind of just wanted to update on where I'm at, and then kind of share my feelings about that, how I got my job, and I just kind of share my college experience, because that's something, you know, it's the beginning of the school year, and I think a lot of people are in that part of their lives where they're just not sure where they're going. I just kind of want to share what I've learned, because I think my experience was unique but also relatable in some ways. So first of all, this is like the important stuff. So like if you're watching the video and you're like actually want to get something out of this, this is where you should start listening. When I was a little kid, I always made little videos with Lego guys, and they were pretty stinky, but like we had this really, really old camera, and I would just hit record, and not even like pictures, like start and stop, but it was literally like record and then stop recording, record and stop recording. So it was made up of a whole bunch of half-second videos. And then I would even do like music, just like with my voice. And that's like what I did. But my parents were pretty skeptical of technology and never really wanted to invest a lot of money in newer things, because none of it was wasn't necessary. So I never really had a lot of the resources I would have needed as a kid. I got into high school and I had the chance to work over the summer, saved up for my first video camera. I used it like 2 times. I remember working all summer just to get this camera, because like I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna make all these videos. And then I realized that you can't really edit a video if your computer isn't fast enough. And my computer was literally as fast as a turtle's cousin who lost both legs in a motorcycle accident and is sitting in the hospital. Our computer was so slow, my friends would come over and they would be like, "Is the washing machine going?" And I'd be like, "Oh no, that's your computer," because literally it just sits there, just the fan would be going. I never really had the chance to edit videos because we didn't really have the equipment. But then I get into high school, and my sophomore year, one of my track coaches, who was also in charge of like the library and the technology section of the school, he said that he got a fund to start a program, and that was amazing. And so I got to literally do an hour a day, got to mess with any equipment, and we had nice cameras, nice computers. So I was able to like really learn a little bit about a lot of different things. But I didn't really get good at anything, because he wasn't a professional. He didn't really teach me much as he just gave me the opportunity to create. The conversation with my parents, though, was, is this a career that will be successful, will be able to provide for my family? When you grow up as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you recognize that an eternal family is the most important goal to have, and it is the thing that will bring you the most satisfaction and joy in your life. You know that, you experience that with your own family, and you want to perpetuate that. You want to provide an environment so that your children can receive the same things you got, if not more. And I saw that in my dad as an engineer, someone who worked very hard, and he made a good salary. He could take care of us. He was very frugal. And I felt that that was the path that I needed to take. So it was kind of hard to reconcile my desire to create media, to entertain, to touch people in that way, the way I've been affected and touched through like movies and film, but also be able to somehow provide a living and be able to have a secure family. So that was a hard thing to a hard conversation with my parents to have, to be like, "Hey, I think I want to like make movies." And my dad's just like, "Are you sure?" He was always supportive, but he just really wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting into. I was in the mindset that I had to be an engineer of some sort, even though I didn't love math or science, but I did great. Like I worked hard at school, and so I figured, well, I did okay, so I might as well just get a job that makes money. But not gonna be fun. And I just accepted that that was my fate, and I was pretty bummed about it. And then I was, well, bless you. Taylor sneezes like this. I was pretty bummed, and then I got to go to BYU just to check out the campus because I was thinking of what kind of college I want to go to, what kind of classes I want to take, and doing a tour of BYU campus. They showed us, we were going by one of this computer science building, and they're like, in this building they have a Po the Panda statue, and I love Kung Fu Panda, one of my favorite animated films.
You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
They were like, yeah, because they help make these animated movies. Our program is so good, and we send a lot of people to Pixar. And that was when it clicked. Mom, and we looked at each other, and I'm like, I want to work at Pixar. I want to get into that program. And my mom was like, yes, do it. And that was it. And I told my dad about it, and he was pumped because he's like, okay, yeah, like I know that's a company that makes lots of money, obviously. And in our minds, it was just, you just work hard enough and you get it. And so I had that mindset, but I didn't know how to draw. And I wasn't really familiar with what animation required besides stop motion animation I had done with Legos. So I just kind of had that dream, and I went through high school just telling everybody, I'm gonna work for Pixar, I'm gonna work for Pixar. And when you're in a small town and you do well in a small town, everybody just says like, cool, yeah, like awesome. There wasn't really a sense of reality, but everyone was very supportive. And then I went on my mission, and I spent the 2 years just agonizing over like, should I? And I just felt that, now it wasn't, I didn't feel that I shouldn't work for Pixar, but I felt that I probably shouldn't do animation because I wasn't necessarily passionate about animation. I wasn't passionate about the act of drawing. Like I liked the idea of creating films, but I just wasn't passionate about that particular skill, which working for Pixar, like getting that job would require a lot of drawing, would require a lot of computer programming skills. Both of those things I was not good at, nor was I passionate about. But I just had that set in my mind that if I could just get that job, even though I was doing something I didn't really like, as long as I was making movies, I'd be happy. But I think it was the spirit. Just something in my mind was telling me that like, that's really not what you want to do or what you should do. But I was kind of belligerent. I kind of just said, nope, I'm doing it. I don't care. So when the time came for me to leave my mission and go back to school, I signed up for classes for all the animation classes. So the figure drawing, and the computer like animating ones, and I took them, and they were impossibly difficult. I was not good. I learned a lot and I grew a lot, but I was just so far behind. I'm in this class with kids who have been drawing since the age of birth. They came out of the womb with a pencil and were drawing like on their, I don't know, what are those things called? The doctors wear like aprons, smocks. You know what I'm talking about though, right? Scrubs. Okay, scrubs. I was in this class with these kids who were just so good, and I had to recognize that. But I was still like, nah, but this is what I want to do, and I've come so far, and I've told so many people that I was gonna do this, and my dad's gonna be disappointed in me, and I'm gonna have to be an engineer if I fail at this, and I don't want to be an engineer. So I apply, and I remember the day I got the letter saying that I did not get into the animation program, and it was raining, it was dramatic. And I got the letter, and I left the art building, and I decided not to open it until I got to a rock by the duck pond, because I needed to feel this, I needed it to be as cinematic as possible. And I sat there and I opened the letter and I read the decline, and I just cried. And it just rained, and I was wet, and there was these ducks. And you know when ducks quack, it just sounds like they're laughing. I was like, okay, well, they're just laughing at me. And that's kind of what I felt. I just felt kind of like a joke because I knew I had built myself up for something that I wasn't capable of. And my dreams had just crushed. And I felt stupid that I wasted so much time, and I should have listened to everybody, and I should have just followed this path, been an engineer and gotten the right job. And I was really frustrated because that whole semester I had been going on dates, because I'd just come from my mission. So I'm like, oh, I got to get married. And literally, I didn't get a second date when, like, I'm gonna exaggerate, but I'd been on like 20 first dates, and none of them wanted to go on a second date. That wasn't going well, and I felt like it's because I was this dreamer with his head in the clouds, and I felt like these girls were like, oh, well, he's not gonna be successful, so can't marry him, he can't take care of our kids. So I just kind of felt like a failure in all fronts. But I'm kind of a determined person and kind of stubborn, so I retook the prerequisite animation classes, and then halfway through I was like, yeah, I really suck at this. So I decided not to try applying again because I'm just like, I knew I wasn't gonna get in. The facts just kind of hit me. The kids who were getting in spent day and night in the lab drawing and animating, and I was like, I enjoy my social life too much. So the Spirit just kind of reminded me like, hey, like I told you this isn't what you were gonna want to do. So like, I wish you would have listened before, but you didn't, but now you know. And I was like, well, now I know. So step 2 was to try to do film, and I took the intro to film classes, and I was like, this is awesome, so fun, and I like editing video, and this is what I wanted to do. I was good at editing video because that's what I did in high school, and I'd gotten a job at BYU TV just as like the lowest level editor, and I started working my way up, and I was like, this is my calling. So I applied to the film program, don't get in. I'm like, it's a mistake. They just messed up. I applied again, and I felt so secure with my video and everything I had done, and then I got the second rejection letter, and then I was just like, I wasn't even upset. I was just kind of like, huh. Like the planets had aligned, and they had just said no, and I wasn't upset because I had given it my best, and I felt like I had been listening to the Spirit. Like I felt like that's what the Spirit had wanted me to do, as opposed to the animation where I felt like I had done the opposite of what I was prompted. But this one, I was like, I felt really prompted to apply, and I didn't get in. So I was kind of like, I was at work, and one of my bosses just out of the blue asked me like how life was going, and I told him that, well, I just didn't get accepted to the film program, so I literally have no idea what to do with my life. I'm 3 years into college, you know, so many credits in, and I don't have a major, literally not in a program. So I'm like, I guess I'll do economics because it's the shortest major at BYU. Like, that would have sucked. He said, oh yeah, the film program they're all hoity-toity, and all they do is talk about theory. You need to do the communications because they teach you the skills, like how to be a good editor and how to market yourself. So I went, met with a counselor. They'd started a new program at BYU that was only a year long, so I could graduate in the 4-year time. I graduated in 4 years, which wasn't even in my plans because I was so far behind. But this new program was like, oh yeah, you just take the skills you have, and then we teach you how to market them, then you graduate with a degree, and then you can go find a job. Like literally they had made that, like I was in this meeting with the counselor, and she like whispered it. She's like, this isn't actually like a program yet, so if we get enough people to say yes, we'll start it. So like Heavenly Father, I just planned all of this, I guess. I graduated, and then I had no plans. Somehow I convinced Taylor to want to marry me with no plans of where I was gonna work or what I was gonna do. That's how I knew it was true love. But she believed in me. And then I reached out to some friends to see if they knew of any freelance jobs. Then my friend Austin reached out and was like, hey, I work at this company and they're looking for some help editing. Send in my resume, my reel of all the work I've done. And they were like, yeah, we actually could use your help full time. And at this point, I had kind of given up hope of finding a full-time job editing. I felt that maybe I should focus my time on going to law school, but that wasn't exactly like really what I wanted. And then out of the blue, that just came, this opportunity, and it has been a dream come true. It's something I didn't even know Heavenly Father would have allowed it to happen, that somehow I could make a living to provide doing something that I love with somebody like with my wife supporting me. Like I never thought, first of all, I never thought I would find a woman who like would love me and love what I do, you know, and love the gospel. Like I just didn't think that was possible. And then to find a job where I get to do that in an environment that is like safe and awesome and fun. Moral of the story is listen to the Spirit and the promptings. I think Heavenly Father cares about our dreams. I know he does. And I know what's important to us is important to him. You know, if it's a healthy thing, of course. If you want to do good and you have a passion, I know Heavenly Father cares about that and is going to help you become the best you with that passion. And you just have to trust him, and you just have to work hard. I worked hard, and I took every chance I could to work on films, to be on set. I think I really believe that he cares, and I really believe that he'll provide a path for you to do what you love with the people you love and feel like respected and have respect for yourself. And that's something I didn't know about Heavenly Father before, but I do now. And so if there's something you're passionate about and you're doing your best to live the gospel and you feel like Heavenly Father is supporting you in this path, I think you should trust yourself and trust him. Try to ignore what the culture is telling you. Try to ignore what you feel people expect of you, and focus on your relationship with Heavenly Father. And I think you can be truly happy. And I know you can be happy with whatever job you've got, but I think you can find even greater fulfillment doing something you love. That's it. That's my story. It was meaningful to me. That was something very personal to me. I know that Heavenly Father loves us, and I think that he's going to continue to help us grow just as we get older. then I'm excited to share what experience I have, so hopefully you don't make the same mistakes that I've made, because that's something I think is super important. I hope you liked this video. I want to try and do one every week. Just share a thought, share an experience or something that I've learned. If you guys have questions or problems you're having and could use some advice or whatever, leave it in the comments and I can make a video about that maybe. But like, don't be offended if I don't, because whatever, life's busy. Oh, and please like this video and subscribe to like the channel if you haven't, because it's just like it gives me a lot more motivation to make videos if I know people actually want to watch them. But even if you don't want to watch them, I'll probably still make them because it's very therapeutic. I'm also gonna set up like a Patreon and stuff, because that would be super helpful to spend more time, because I have a lot of ideas for a lot of other videos. Taylor's like helped me like think of things that I can do that are like more than just me talking in front of a camera, but like going out there and shooting and filming and editing and really using my skills to grow as an artist and to give you guys content that's like even more uplifting and inspiring. So I'm gonna, like, once I get that set up, I'll share the information once I start getting a few more videos out, so that you guys can, if you guys want to help me out and support me in that, that'd be awesome. I love you guys a lot. Hope you have an awesome day. Good luck with your semester of school or wherever you're at in